Hi, I'm Mr. Miyagi, and this is Mr. Miyagi's Workshop. Well, today we're going to attempt to install this YSS spring kit in the front of this old Royal Enfield, the Scram 411, old thumper. We'll see how it goes. There's not really a good set of instructions that come with this, so I've searched the internet and did a lot of reading and stuff, so I think I probably got it down. Hopefully, we'll see. So my first thing is I've got to pull the front wheel and then pull the um, tubes out so we can get them drained properly and get the new springs and everything installed. So let's get to it. You want to do is you want to make sure that you're secured. I've got some straps on the back here. I've got a flat plate that I'm putting in here. I'm also putting a safety strap that holds this in place, so when I pull this front wheel off, the bike's not moving around. I'm going to probably put another one of these straps on the other side, and I'll go through and I'll just do a fast forward because these are fairly simple to take off, and we'll get to it. I got this clamped into the vise. I'm using an old triple tree. Believe it or not, that's an old Harley Davidson. They're pretty dang close. I just tighten it down so that I can get this 22 millimeter off of here. Now, one of the big things with these is you don't want to forget that this is under pressure. So that's still not clamped on there that great. Let me tighten this up just a tad bit more. All right. So you want to hold some down pressure on these, because otherwise it'll go shooting right up. There we go. So one thing you want to measure, you want to kind of measure from here to the top of this, just to get an idea of what the distance is. And because I want to double check a lot of stuff here. Also on the bike, when it's sitting there, I measured underneath the skid plate, I measured to the table a height that it's sitting at right now. I want to see if that changes. So let me get some other stuff going here and then I'll be right back. I've got everything laid out here, the springs, and they say on instructions is not to pull them out of the bag. You can have them out of the bag for a week, but you should be putting them in. So I've got the old cap there. These are the new adjustables. Kind of nice. And we have the spacers and the little divers down at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is pull this one out. And you can see they're a little bit shorter than the original. Another thing I like, let me get down in here. So we have a ring so that when these sit down on there, that they have something to rest on other than the spring itself. And then these just pull right out of there. I don't want to make too big of a mess here. Grab the bag. Gonna let that drain. These magnets work quite well for getting that stuff out of there. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drain the oil. So I'm going to pop this loose and drain oil. You got to pump it, but I'm going to put mine in a container down there so I can tell how much fluid was it in there originally. Now it'll be a little bit different because some of it's going to stick to the inside of the tube, but and you want to pump these about, well, I think they said 10 or 15 times just to make sure you get all the oil out of them. I'm going to let this sit right here and drain, and I'll be right back with you. I reread the instructions there. It said 15 to 20 times, so I've pumped this a few more times. I got a lot more fluid out of it. And then I just placed it inside here. I've got it so it drips into my little container down below. And I'm going to let this drip for a time, and we'll go from there. According to the instructions, we're supposed to put this PD valve in, and that just basically drops in like that. And then we're supposed to add fluid. Now I went to the chart and I couldn't get in on there what they say is the manual for this. I did go online, and a lot of people were saying that it was about 410 milliliters. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to measure down from the top here. I believe it was 150 millimeters down to the surface of the fluid, and then we'll see how close we are. Now what I did is my little cup here, it doesn't have it in increments that I can get to the 10, so I guesstimated it and then marked it so that both forks will receive the same amount of fluid. But we'll set this in here. Sloppy mess I am. Make sure we get all of that in there. I don't care how careful I am. I always somehow spill the fork oil. I don't know why or how or whatever. So what I've heard that on read that it should be roughly around, what did I say, 150 millimeters. So, okay, I marked it. And let me see if I've got enough to do the second one. So measuring the air gap at 150 millimeters, everything looking good here. So now I'm going to lower the spring in. You don't want to drop these down in there because you'll blow that fluid right back up out of there. Two, we put our little ring spacer on there. Lower that down in there. And then these go on. Ooh. Okay. Alrighty. And place this. Now I always like to put a little bit of oil around these. And then just screw it on there. Now I believe that these are 19 millimeter. So we're just going to run these down till they're snug. Alrighty, it's all clean. So I'm going to move on, get this off, and then I'm going to move and do the same thing to the other one. And I'll be right back with you. One of the other things that I've done in the past when I didn't have a triple tree to clamp into, I took a couple of pieces. Basically, I took a solid piece, drilled it out the size of the tubing that I wanted, and you don't have to cut it all the way in half. You can just cut out a big chunk, and then you can slide it into the vise and clamp it, and then that'll hold your fork in place. It's a real simple system. This is kind of a plastic board that I had. It came off of our deck. AZEK stuff. It's kind of like the rest of the deck stuff. Or you can use regular wood, which I have in the past, and clamp it down. And it'll give enough pressure that you can actually take your fork apart. So that's something to think about. You don't all the time have to have a triple tree. Luckily, I had one. Okay, so we're gonna put this stuff back together. Slide it back up in there. And try and tighten up some of this stuff a little bit just to make sure that it stays. There we go. Then we'll just go along and tighten these up a little bit, and then we'll torque them in after we get everything together. On the other side there, I'm gonna have to slide this back over again so this tube can go up through there. Excuse me. All right. Now it's just put everything back together again. Okay, so for the spacers for the front fender, I went to the hardware store and I bought these. These are just aluminum spacers that I found in the hardware store, and then of course I bought longer bolts so everything fit and tightened down on there. And I didn't feel like paying what it was, $25 for the kit, when I spent maybe $6. Yeah. So you see, this isn't all that bad to do. You see that there's a few tools that you'll need. 24 millimeter for your front nut here, 19 millimeter, 22 millimeter for the top of the forks and such, 6 millimeter Allen wrench, 4 millimeter, and you might need a 5 millimeter Allen wrench, for pulling your Fender and stuff. Now this is a little different than doing the straight Himalayan. This is a Scram, so it doesn't have a lot of the guard work around it, so it could change on that a little bit. But dropping the forks out, just finding a nice level spot, making some way that you can lift this up, take your wheel off, and then pull your forks out. Having this table makes a big difference for me, but just make sure it's secure. And then when putting it back together, make sure you grease the axle so it slides in. Make sure you're not pinching everything. Use a little bit of blue Loctite for putting this all back together again. And everything should work out just fine. Now, I get to go test ride this. And lucky to me, a buddy of mine texted me and said he wants to go camping on Friday, which is just a couple of days away. And he wants to go up and do some camping with the bike. So I have a couple of places I like to head up to. And he's agreed that that's probably a pretty good place to go. So we're going to go up, test ride it. He's a lot younger guy, so I have to really push it to keep up, and he rides a DR650. So with PJ, and I, we kind of do a little bit of stuff. So another thing you might keep in mind if you're in the Pacific Northwest, or if you're going to come in for Tour Tech, is coming up the end of June, and which is a lot of fun. And we'll be hanging out there, so hey, you might see me. So as always, if there's any questions or comments, you can put them in the comment section below, or you can send them to my email address at tmiyagi@hotmail.com. And if you've liked this episode, please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget that ringy-dingy button over there for the next episode coming up. So this is Mr. Miyagi saying you be safe out there. Hope to see you on the road. Ciao.